Hey, everybody, welcome to the Authors Porch Podcast, where every great conversation begins. I'm your host, CJ Ives Lopez, and this is a place where we bring together authors, readers, and creatives from all walks of life to share stories, insights, and the love of books together. Whether you're an aspiring writer, a seasoned author, or simply a book enthusiast, this is your space. And hey, maybe you'll find your next favorite author here. Every week, we dive into the writing world, explore new ideas, discuss the challenges we face as creatives, celebrate the magic of storytelling, and occasionally, we're blessed with amazing author interviews. So grab your cup of coffee, settle in, and let's turn the page on a new chapter together. Welcome to the Authors Porch, where every story matters and every voice has a home. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Authors Porch Podcast. I know it's been a while. I go on these hiatuses, have to get these books out, work on these projects with other authors. But look, I always come back because you are the reason for the season. And today we're going to talk about the art of writing what you love versus writing what sells. Because, authors, I need you to have your expectations in check. We all want to have this great release in writing. We love writing so much. And some people get upset because they're like, why isn't my book selling? Why is no one reading my book? Please, please, please write my book or read my book. And I get it. We really, really want people to read our books, but we have to have realistic expectations. We have to give them what they want. We can't give them what we want them to read. We can't force things down their necks. So we need to pay attention to this big debate that nearly every writer faces at some point in their journey. Do you write what you love or do you write what sells? And honestly, there's a way to do both. Many authors start writing because they have a story inside them that needs to be told. And that's why we write, because we've got these characters that scratch in our brain that says, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell this story of mine. But as we step into the business side of publishing, reality starts to set in, right? Reality says you've got to do the things that are going to get your book sold. So we've got to make sure that we're getting it out there. The books that fill our hearts may not always be the books that are going to resonate with our readers and fly off the shelves. So we have to do this balance of passion versus profitability. So let's get into it and talk about it. The dilemma is, and we're going to go over writing what you love and then writing what sells. And we're going to see how we can Venn diagram this. I think that's what it is. I may be wrong. Don't quote me. And see where it meets in the middle so you can be happy and profitable all at the same time and find your happy place, right? So writing what you love, it's the creative freedom of following your heart, the joy of telling the stories that excite and inspire you, and building this loyal audience who loves your unique voice, right? You want that creative freedom of following your heart. You want to tell the stories of the characters that are scratching at your head, that wake you up at 2:00 in the morning and you can't go back to sleep, because if you don't write it down, you literally are going to lay in bed and the story is going to play out in your head and not let you go back to sleep. You want to be excited because you can't wait to get on the phone to your BFF, tell your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, the person walking down the street. Those are the stories that literally put a smile on your face. You want to tell those stories. You don't want to feel like it's a business all the time, because we didn't get into writing because we love business. That's not why we became writers. And building your loyal niche audience, we do that through our newsletters. We do it through social media. We do it through book clubs, friends, family, other writers, coffee shop groups. There's so many ways to build that loyal audience. You do it in your own unique way. So you don't have one way of doing it. There's multiple ways of doing it. And you do it through the genres that you write. You do it through expressing your unique voice. So writing what sells is understanding market trends and reader demands, writing to genre expectations, and the potential, and you also have the potential of higher income and a broader audience. And that's not so bad. In understanding the market trends and reader demands, people go, oh, spreadsheets. Oh, I don't want to research. Well, it's not as hard as you think it is. But here's the reality check, guys. You don't have to choose just one. There is a way for both of them to meet in the middle and you to skyrocket. Okay? The key is understanding why you write and what you expect from it. If you write purely for love, that's amazing. But if you want financial success, you're going to have to align your goals with market realities. You can't sit here and go, I'm going to write this. I don't care what anybody says. This is me, like it or love it or leave it. Well, here's the thing. There's going to be some that leave it. And then you have to be realistic and you have to understand that you very well may not have financial success and you have to be okay with it. If you're not willing to manage what you do to meet people's needs, then be realistic with yourself that you very well may not be financially successful. There's a chance you will, but there's a bigger chance you won't because you're going take it or leave it. You can't do that if you're selling to other people. So let's find the gap between passion and profit, because that's where we're going to be successful, right? There's a sweet spot where writing what you love and writing what sells meets in the middle. You have to know your market. You have to know where your passion aligns with the reader's demand, right? If you write sweet romance, okay, because I'm going to talk about what I know. I'm not going to talk about the things I don't know. If you write sweet romance, know within sweet romance the tropes, like small towns, huge. They're selling like a dime a dozen. They're just flying off the shelves. So if I'm writing sweet romance, which I love, write it in a small town setting, people gobble that up. They also love enemies to lovers. So you have to find out, like I said, your genre and what's matching. If you love writing vampires, what tropes within the vampires are people gobbling up? If you love paranormal cozy mystery, okay, people love it when there's an animal on the cover. Make sure there's an animal in the story. Get crafty with what you love so that you're aligning it with the reader demand and market expectations. Structure your story while making it your own so that you're doing what the reader wants, because when you do that, they're going to buy your book, your baby, your passion project. So even though you have a passion project, you can sell it with the right marketing and your branding strategy, because if people can't recognize you, if you're all over the place, if you literally have a series with 5 books and all 5 of those books have different covers and they don't look the same, they're not going to know it's the same series. They don't even know it's the same author. None of it makes any sense. So make sure your branding is spot on. Before you even write your first book, you should talk to someone who understands branding. You need to brand yourself. You need to be identifiable. The moment someone says your name, I know who they are. I know who they're about, what they're about, and moving forward, I've got this. So here's some examples of success. Colleen Hoover, she wrote the books she loved, but she positioned them in a way that readers devoured them. She wrote about the things she knew in her life, some of the things that she went through, some of the things that her family went through, but she wrote it in a way that people gobbled it up like crazy. When she released a book, also, here's the branding and the positioning. When she released a book, you didn't see any other books on Instagram. She literally dominated the Instagram market. And I remember when those books were coming out, because I was like, who is this Colleen Hoover lady? I don't know nothing about her books. I don't care anything, and this was at the time. I don't care anything about her books, but can I see something else on Bookstagram, please? She understood branding and positioning very, very well. Brandon Sanderson, you guys know his story about Kickstarter. He um, raised like over like millions of dollars on a Kickstarter campaign. He created such a deep and intricate fantasy world that it aligned within the genre expectations, but he was able to maintain his creative integrity of it. But it was so intricate, and and the fantasy lovers loved it. It's almost like he created this whole new Dungeons and Dragons world for people, and they gobble it up. They love Brandon Sanderson, but he's able to be free and enjoy his passion because he understood his genre that much and knew what people within his genre wanted, and he provided it for them. So understand what your people want, and always, always be realistic about your expectations. So when you're writing for passion alone and not looking at the trends and what your people within your genre want, you may not see financial success instantly. You have to be realistic about that. Some people, it takes a decade or more before they start seeing it. You have to focus on building a small but dedicated audience first. You've got to win people over. Here's the thing: everyone is an author, everyone's a writer. You've got to become a successful author and writer. You may need to build multiple income streams, side jobs, Patreon, Kickstarters, etc. So, talking with David Vergoots, he is a horror writer. He has built Scare Mail. Scare Mail is a subscriptions based program that sends letters in the actual snail mail. And if you don't know about it, go look it up. Look up David Vergoots. He preaches to authors, not preaches a hard word. He talks to authors and he lets them know paperback and e-back books are great because that's your big story. But how else can you tell the story? You can tell the story in many different means and many different modes. So find different ways to tell the story. You tell it on social media, Reels. You can earn money on Reels. You can earn money on TikTok. You can he's earning money through Scare Mail. Earn Patreon. Go on YouTube. Monetize your YouTube. Tell your story in so many different ways that you, once again, branding and positioning, you are identifiable because you're a storyteller. Be more than an author or a writer, be a storyteller. Tell the stories to the people. If you want both, writing to market and writing your passion, you have to find ways to write what excites you while keeping an eye on what is trending. Find out what's trending, find out what's going on, and within that, what of that is exciting to you? You're going to have to market your book strategically so that's going to appeal to the right readers. Listen, when someone asks you who reads your book, what is the type of people that will read your book? And if you say, well, anyone could read my book, no. I'm telling you right now, the mom sitting at home with 5 kids that is disgruntled because her husband ain't paying her no attention, she's not my ideal reader. She is not my ideal reader. The 20-year-old who's looking for love, who just loves to watch Hallmark movies and just loves love, that's my ideal reader. And be patient. It takes time to build passion and profit at the same time. But don't ever stop following your passion. Never. At the end of the day, there is no right or wrong way to do this. It's only your way. It's your way. It's your career, and you have to fight for it. But don't get stuck in the why me, poor me, I can't do this method. Successful authors are 1% of the author population. you can be that 1%. If you write for passion, embrace it and find joy in your work. That's another way of being successful, is finding joy. If you write for profit, treat it like a business and learn the market. You've got to get to work. If you want to do both, be intentional about how you merge creativity with strategy. So, do me a favor. Let me know. What's your take on this? Do you write what you love, what sells, or do you do both? Or do you sit and cry about why your book isn't selling, but refuse to give the readers what they want because it's your way or the highway? Let's talk about it. You can drop a comment here on the podcast. Share your thoughts. Let's get deep in conversation about it. But don't forget to subscribe to the Authors Porch Podcast, and also check out otpauthorservices.com if you need help building your author brand and marketing your books, because we are here for you. Y'all have a great day. I'll catch you next time here on the Authors Porch. Bye. We've come to the end of this episode, but we're not done. If you enjoyed that, you'll enjoy all the other things we do at the Authors Porch. Check out the magazine, blogs, and all the other stuff we do at our website, theauthorsporch.com. Also, follow us on social media at The Authors Porch. That's all one word. Find your new favorite author and your new favorite book, all here with us. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on The Authors Porch, where every great conversation happens.